Now, allowing walk-ins would go a long way in making the process convenient enough for people to go get their jabs. But how can this be managed while ensuring that vaccination queues don't turn into super spreader events as the third wave is looming? Well, parts of the country like Gauteng and the Free State and the Northern Cape are already in the third wave, we are told by scientists and health officials. Let's speak now to Mark Kingston from Business for South Africa, who joins us on the Midday View via Zoom. Mr. Kingston, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. B4SA was set up to assist government in this whole COVID-19 process. From your perspective, I know you gave an update media briefing towards the end of last week. As we begin the second week of phase 2 rollout, which is prioritizing the elderly, those who are 60 and above, what is the latest you can tell us? So, are things going on according to plan?
Dan, actually things are going not only according to plan, but I think that the general experience that everybody's had so far has been extremely positive. As you said, B4SA has been formed last year to deal with some of the big challenges of the pandemic. And one of them this year is to roll out the vaccination program as quickly and comprehensively as possible. And obviously, as you've
indicated, things are slow. But things are slow, sir. Just to cut in there, I just spoke to 3 of my colleagues in different parts of the country, and things are slow. Not only the online registration is slow and it's also confusing to many elderly. You yourselves last week said it was very disappointing to see only 1.6 million people having registered online. So there is slowness in this whole process.
There is indeed, and we're bound to have teething problems, Dan. They're unavoidable. We're dealing with them on a daily basis as quickly as possible, engaging with the National Department of Health that has overall responsibility. So the issues you've mentioned, which is registration, is our primary focus. We need to register everybody and anybody, and many of us watching need to help those who don't have the facility to register to be registered. No registration means no vaccination. Then we need to ensure that the people who are registered are able to get to the vaccination site. We're not encouraging people to just walk in and expect to be vaccinated. You're scheduled by the system. Many of these issues, as I said, are being addressed. Last week was the first week that we moved to scale. If you think about the fact that we vaccinated nearly 200,000 people in the first 5 days of the program last week, compared to 480,000 healthcare workers in over 4 weeks, I think we're going to ramp up very quickly. We're going to double the number of private sector facilities that are coming on stream this week. There are some 90 occupational health and safety centres that will be brought on stream in the next couple of months. It takes some time, unfortunately, to deal with these issues. But I'm comfortable that actually almost everybody that we've spoken to who was scheduled did get vaccinated. Last week, many people who were not scheduled still managed to turn up around the country and be vaccinated, if indeed they were over 60, as you've said, and that's where we need to focus our efforts on registration and vaccination according to the manner in which people...
There were walk-ins.
There were indeed walk-ins all around the country. Dan,
yeah, and people got vaccinated. Is that the way to go? Is that the way to go?
No, it's not the way to go, because unfortunately, if that's the case, we'll have complete chaos. We need to schedule the manner in which people are vaccinated, starting with those that are most vulnerable first, those over 60 and working down. But we're not going to turn people away regardless of the circumstances. Certainly they need to register. If we haven't got people who are registering, Dan, then we can't monitor who's been vaccinated and who has not.
Yeah, there's a very big target looming to the end of July, according to Dr. Mkhize, the health minister, in terms of the elderly. So many millions have to be vaccinated by then. And now we are in the middle of a corona third wave in parts of the country like Gauteng, the Free State, the Northern Cape, they've told us. Do you think that target is reachable, achievable?
Yeah, absolutely so. We think that we should be able to be vaccinating approximately 100,000 a day in the very near future, and our target as a country is to vaccinate between 250 and 300,000 a day. We think we can do that certainly by the middle of next month, towards the end of next month. And the truth is that we've got 5.5 million of those people that you're talking about, elderly over the age of 60, theoretically to be vaccinated. Not everybody will register.
That will also depend on the availability of the vaccines. I mean, we're still waiting for the Americans and the FDA in terms of that J&J. So would we have enough doses, you think, Mr. Kingston?
Well, at the moment, we're getting 325,000 a week of Pfizer. That's going to scale up in the next 2 weeks to 645,000 a week. Obviously, we're already producing, as you say, J&J by Aspen Pharmacare, but they are suspended until the FDA has released its restrictions. So we've got enough vaccines for now, but you're absolutely correct. That will become the constraint. If the J&J limitation is not removed, then we're going to have to rely entirely on Pfizer. You'll have noticed last week that the government extended the period of time that Pfizer can be kept in less stringent conditions for up to 31 days. That means that we'll be able to pump that out across many more sites in the country.
Okay.
So I'm still optimistic that we'll be able to get to those targets.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin Kingston, for sharing your optimism with us in terms of the 5 million target of the elderly, vaccinating the elderly, the senior citizens, by the end of July. You're watching the Monday edition of the Midday View on ENCATS TV, Channel 43.